Rise and grind, the rarest cigars in my collection. Let's get into this list. Here at Rise and Grind, we equip you. We share with you the best whiskeys, the best cigars. We share with you all the things you need to know so that you can level up and enjoy your leisure time. On this video, we want to just go over the most rarest cigars in my collection. Now, these may not be rare to you, but they're rare for me. They all tell a story because that's what we do. It's about how did I get these cigars? What do these cigars signify for me? And so I want to tell you about the 5 most rarest cigars. They may not be the most expensive, but with each of these, you can't get these ever again. And so that makes them very rare, very unique. And that also makes them very valuable for me. And so we're gonna just dive into this. We're gonna start with a popular cigar. And so this is the Padron 1964, but this is a 50th year anniversary. And so I've said it a couple times, I'm not the world's biggest Padron fan, but they are one of the best cigar makers there is. And so the 64, the 26, I've got an 80th year, and I've got this 50th year. How did I come by this? I subscribe to a particular company that sends you cigars on a periodic basis. And so that company sent me this, and I'm waiting for a very special moment to smoke this. As you can see, the band is very loose. I've been aging this for some time. Padrones, they got some strength to it. And so you got this Nicaragua tobacco. This appears to be a Maduro. And so the Padrones, they got some heft to it. And so I'm looking for a great time. Probably pair this with a high proof bourbon. And so this is the Padron. This is the 50th year. And so because I respect the company, then I'm going to cherish this cigar. Next cigar on our list, as far as rarest cigars in my collection, it has rare in the name. And so you know me, we gotta go to Opus X, we gotta go to Arturo Fuente. So this is the rare pink. I love all the regular Opus X. I've got all of the Opus X's. I'm a Opus X fanboy. And so I love Opus X, love Arturo Fuente. And we're gonna talk about rare cigars. And so this is the rare pink. This means a lot to me because my cousin just beat breast cancer. And so I'm excited about that, really happy about that. She's been on that journey and she is now just in remission. And so it worked. And so anything that is raising awareness for breast cancer, anything that's speaking to these health conditions that we face, I'm a big fan and a big supporter of. And knowing that I can buy a cigar that's going to help in that fight. So I got these when I was in Miami a couple months ago. The reason why I mentioned all the breast cancer stuff, that's what the rare pink is. And so some of the proceeds, I believe, goes towards breast cancer awareness. And so Arturo Fuente is doing the right thing, not just making good cigars, but also making a difference, raising awareness. And so they've got rare pink. And so one of the rarest cigars in my collection, and I'm gonna cherish this cigar, again, because of all the significance. You see, this cigar thing, it goes beyond the leaves and the tobacco. We're talking about lives, people. We're talking about raising awareness for things. We're talking about men and women who are planting seeds and tilling it and sowing it and reaping it and rolling it. This thing is bigger than just cigars. And that's what I love about this industry and about this culture. And so when I think about rare pink, I think about every woman battling breast cancer. And so the next cigar that we're gonna look at, this comes from a company called Graycliff. And so they've got cigars that they put out. They've got banded cigars that they put out. You might see them at different lounges and humidors. You can even buy them on different online retailers. This particular cigar is from their actual restaurant in Nassau, Bahamas. And so I grew up in the Bahamas. And so that's why it's got so much significance for me. Now at this restaurant, it's a 5-diamond restaurant. It's the real deal. My wife took me there for my birthday a couple months ago in July. Really had a great time there. the restaurant, the service is just impeccable. Now, a couple things about Graycliff. They roll cigars on site. And so they're Cuban seed cigars. In fact, the people who are rolling them are actual Cubans who've migrated to the Bahamas. They've got an entire cigar factory there. They also have an entire winery there. They've got, in fact, the 3rd largest privately owned winery. And so if you go to the restaurant and if you go into the basement, you're just gonna see exotic bottles. In fact, I think they've got the world's oldest wine bottle. And so just the history, the legacy, if you're a big wine drinker, they've got that there. The steak I had was absolutely amazing. The service was impeccable. And while I was there, I got some actual hand-rolled cigars. And so they're actually rolling cigars in the restaurant. They've got a lounge there. And so there's so much that's happening. And so for me, again, my 45th birthday, I'm in the Bahamas. I'm at the Graycliff restaurant, checking out an amazing wine collection. And I got me a hand-rolled Cuban seed cigar. And so for me, I won't call this a Cuban. It's rolled by a Cuban in the Bahamas, Cuban seeds. But this is gonna be a memorable cigar for me. In fact, I got a 5-pack of these. And so this is something that's rare. This whole story that I told you behind it, that's something that you can't duplicate. No one else is gonna be able to have this cigar. And so it's not an Opus X, it's not some Padron, but for me, this is something that's very rare and unique. It's something that I'm gonna cherish. And so we thank you. We got 2 more to cover, but I just wanna stop and pause to say thank you. Our channel is different. We don't just talk about the cigars. I didn't even tell you about the notes of any of them, because it's bigger than notes. It's bigger than flavor profile. When I share, I'm sharing stories. I'm sharing about what does the cigar mean to me. So yeah, every now and again, I'm gonna light it up and tell you about how it tastes like. Listen, they all taste like honey, chocolate, and cedar. That's what all cigars taste like at some point. But I wanna tell you something deeper, something that can probably help you. And if this doesn't sound too crazy for you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can hear some of these other stories, because that's all this channel is. It's about me sharing my journey through cigars, through whiskey, just through rising and grinding. And so that's what this channel is about. You can hit the like button so that others can get this message. Leave a comment, let me know what are the most rarest cigars in your collection. And as we continue, another cigar, this is the La Careme by Crown Heads. And so what makes this so special? This is a limited edition. This is like a Bellicoso, La Careme Bellicosos Finos. And so this is a limited edition. This is 2022. And that's one thing I like about Crown Heads. And so I've got their Mil Diaz limited edition. I've got the La Careme, and I've got the just everything they put out. They tend to put out some limited editions. What I like to do is when I find a year, something that really was good, like in fact, this year's Las Calaveras. And so when I find something that's just tremendous, something that's delicious, tasty, unique, I go ahead and make sure I get a box of that. And so I was able to snag these up. This is the La Careme, they're Bellicosos Fino size, 2022. So that's only about 2 years ago. But the fact that you're not gonna be able to buy these, you're not gonna be able to find these anymore. And so I smoked this 2 years ago, was just so blown away by it. I went ahead and bought as much of these as I could. And that's what I like about this journey. It's about finding the thing that fits you. And so the taste profile of this, they say it tastes like some French dessert. Sure. To me, it just tastes delicious. Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, just an amazing cigar. And I'm gonna hold on to these and cherish these. Last cigar we have on this list of the rarest cigars in my collection. And so this is the Amazon Basin. Now this is the original, going way back before it got all the hype. In fact, I remember I was in San Diego, I spoke at an event, I went to a lounge, and I remember I bought 2 of these, smoked one at the lounge, and I thought, wow, this is a good cigar. I think this is gonna become popular one day. That was about 5 years ago, And this is the other one that I just kept ever since then. Now I've bought some different, as they kept coming out, it seems to be every 2 years, I buy them. But just remembering before the hype. And I remember what I was doing in San Diego, it was before my career kind of took off. And so I was unknown in my field, and this cigar was unknown in our cigar world. And every time I look at this, I remember that moment of innocence, before the hype, before any kind of fame or celebrity, before anyone knew anything about this cigar, or before anyone knew anything about me, when I just sat in a lounge and enjoyed a great cigar. And so that's why this means so much to me, because this channel is all about beyond the hype. Once a cigar gets all hyped, sometimes I just don't even smoke it if it's too hyped, because I like for stuff to remain about us, the people, kind of like an underground kind of thing, like a subculture. And so these cigars, they mean a lot to me. They're rare to me for various reasons. This is my journey, this is my story that I'm sharing with you through cigars. Share with me, let me know what are the most rarest cigars that you have and why. Tell me why. Tell me what is so special and so significant. Like, comment, subscribe, but most importantly, rise and grind.